Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kyler Williams, and the topic I'll be looking at today is globalization. It comes from chapter 1. Alright, so to start, I'm going to jump right into it. Globalization is the interaction and integration of people, companies, and governments worldwide. Trade, on the other hand, this involves the transfer of goods and services from one entity to another, often in exchange for money. Alright, so this interaction allows these entities to trade with each other. So globalization is one of the drivers of international trade. However, globalization has both its positive and negative effects. A positive being that globalization helps consumers, as business competitors are now trading on a global market, and they all aim to keep their price within a target market. So globalization also gives consumer choices. However, on the negative side of globalization, larger companies might drive out the smaller companies out of business. This is because they benefit from economies of scale. Alright, so it is also possible for these companies to have monopolies. And in that case, the consumer might suffer, as they have no choice, as these companies can charge the price that they please. An example of a monopoly in Jamaica is electricity, which is the GPS company. Alright. So to add to that, certain countries can benefit from an absolute advantage that is in the international trade area. So an absolute advantage is where a country produces goods and services at a lower cost than when compared to other countries. And as a result of that and globalization, companies can choose to supply from wherever is cheaper and lower supply costs, lower prices for the consumer. And a real world example of absolute advantage is in oil production. So nations in the Middle East, they benefit from absolute advantage when it comes to producing oil. They use simple, inexpensive techniques and drill for oil and get it in large quantities. So they benefit from an advantage there. Another negative result of globalization, however, is the COVID-19 pandemic. The constant movement and transaction between people across nations caused it to spread worldwide. So globalization has its limits as well. So companies also suffer from barriers to entering other markets, international markets, which include protectionism, trade barriers, tariffs, and taxes on imported items. So that is it for today under globalization, and thank you for watching.